Hello everyone, this is a requested video. Someone asked me essentially how do you talk to a disabled person, and it's pretty simple. Just treat them like a human being. Treat them like you would with any other person, especially if they're an adult. Just treat them with respect. There's a saying, always presume competence, so always assume that they have mental capacity to understand what you are saying unless proven otherwise. But I think what this person meant with their question is like, if a person is unable to move and speak, like how do you communicate with them? And that's very much on an individual basis, in which case you would have to ask the person themselves or any support person that they may be with what their communication style is. For example, when I am post-seizure, with me it varies depending on what mobility I have. For example, when I'm in full body paralysis, I use my eye movements to communicate, to answer yes/no questions. For example, if I look up, it's yes. If I look side to side, it's no. But if I'm able to do head nodding, then I'll do head nodding. My main communication style when I'm post-seizure, if I've not got my AAC in front of me, or if I've not got the movement to use it at the time, is answering yes/no questions. And if I'm able to make sounds, and if I want to be quite vocal but I'm not able to speak, I will do for yes or for no. For me, it's quite varied. That may not necessarily be the case for every disabled person. Like, for example, the young people I used to care for when I was a support worker only had one method of communication. But yeah, if you're not sure, just ask them or ask whoever's with them. Obviously, please be respectful about it and please be polite about it. And pretty much whatever communication style that they say or communicate is the way to go. If that person uses an AAC device to communicate, give them time. Do not interrupt them and do not try to predict what they say. Give them all the time they need in the world to type out on their device. And also don't peer over your shoulder to try and read it unless they give you permission, because it's considered rude. But I think that same rule of thumb goes with any other sort of communication style. No matter how slow it takes for a person to respond to you, just please be patient and please give them the time, because obviously they don't want to be slow and they're battling against their body to try and get to move or to type or to do whatever it is they need in order to respond and communicate. And let's say a person has no established communication style, or if it's a child and they've not got their AAC with them or haven't established a communication style yet, you can still socialize and communicate with that person just by giving them the time of day and being invested with them. And always watch them for responses, because a person can respond with a change of facial expression, or if they make a noise, or body language, pretty much any response. If you're with a child and you want to socialise with them but you're not sure how, there's a technique of socialization that I was trained in called intensive interaction, which is very much child-led or the disabled person-led. Let's say they make a noise or they pull a smile, and essentially what you do is you respond to that by repeating it. Very much what you would do with a baby. Like, if a baby smiles at you, you smile back. If the baby claps, you clap. If the baby makes a noise, then you replicate the same noise back. It's pretty much that same principle, but obviously, depending on the mental capacity of the person and also the age of the person, you may have to make some adjustments to make it more appropriate, which I can understand that can be very hard to figure out if you're not experienced in people with disability. But I hope my advice has been helpful, and I hope that I've given some good ideas for you to try if you're ever in such a situation. But the ground rule and the foundation is treat them like you would want to be treated. Literally imagine yourself in their shoes and imagine how you would want another person to treat you, to respond to you, to communicate with you and hang out with you, socialise with you, and then try your best to do that. I hope that answers your question, and I hope that was helpful. Take care.